Salute to all the generals, salute to all the captains, officers and the troops, rocking all black and boots. Nigga, this life is war. So what you going through does not only pertain to you, it's something we all gotta do. Listen, it's one body, so we rock a vest. With the armor of the Lord ready to confess. We the army of the Lord, but leave that in your chest. Don't try to come against us, believe that we won't west. No hesitation, we just too bold for you. Right. An organized crew, we do what we told to do. Damn right. So we blazing what the scriptures fool. Right. Cracking pavements, raising dead when we coming through. You niggas only raising brain. The only time you making noise is when you clap your hands, hollering, shouting, dance. Damn. While we prophesying to the wind. Nigga, it was a prophecy that we gon' win. I love to see my niggas win no matter what we up against. Moving forward through the bullshit, we enduring to the end. You drop your sword, don't lead a war, just pick it up, hop back in. But seek the Lord 10 times more than you did before. Man, time is slim. We fight this war for war. When I heard that shit, help me in. These hoes trying to get us to sin. White man want to see us fit. Niggas trying to see our end. Reds trying to see our pen. Wickedness filled up to the brim. None of that shit could make us flinch. From Yasha, right. UPK is no cow, right. We the sons of the power, right. Here today and tomorrow, right. Niggas thinking they harder, we fall on them like a martyr. We headed prepare slaughter, my niggas go head forward. This life is torture, ain't no time for fear. Horror is the way that we was brought up. They said traps, that's how they caught us. Don't fall back, you gon' get caught up. Don't fall back into them actions there before the Lord and torture niggas. Damn. I say the Lord and told you his forgery when the fire come out pure. That shit is glorious. These underdogs that blood down before. Niggas put them drugs down. You can come and war with us.
They said free the Palestinians, then celebrate the death of Native Indians. How these other races gon' take us serious? They don't. It's silly thinking you can fight oppression with a vote. I'm so woke, I got sleep deprivation. Belly of the beast giving birth to a nation. You know how I feel to have culture and they take it. It'll never be peace. Tell them free the reservation. Till it's backwards. They don't know that they exist no more. Ever try reaching out for help and you just get ignored? Pick up vices like drugs, your child fill a void. They get a youth life sentence for a killing. He was just a boy. Niggas poor, what we living for? Life a gamble is like 10 or 4. Police hands around your neck, they just hit record. We in war, man, this ain't the norm. But you don't know how I feel to be black. Yeah, you don't know how I feel to be black. Yeah, you don't know how I feel to be black. Yeah, you don't know how I feel to be black. Yeah, you don't know. Mama on the stage crying. She just lost her only son to gang violence. Pops level 4 yard talking through the vents. Have you ever tried to hug your loved ones through a fence? Have you ever been hated just because your skin? Have you ever worked all week and couldn't pay your rent? Life a trip, I'm trying to catch my balance. Every step feel like I'm walking backwards. Credit card, but God check the balance. I come from where it's worthless while my heart callous. They want you to fall weak, that's a war tactic. Look how we live, what's scarier than that? What you know about crossing the Darien Gap? Risk your life to live in hell or bury your kids. Either way we gotta suffer and they just get rich. Life a bitch, why I waste time telling you that? Cause if you ain't a nigga like me, you don't know how I feel to be black. Yeah, you don't know how I feel to be black. Yeah, you don't know how I feel to be black. Yeah, you don't know how I feel to be black. Yeah, you don't know.
Cold leader, a nigga sick, I got that faux fever, that COVID shit, got that old Nina, I let it spit, got that brand new 9, fold you like a futon, ain't a rapper on my level, told you that a few times, bet your bottom dollar, save it like a coupon, old glass with the new wines, break a few minds, black party with a few dimes, get my shoes shine, murder shit, fight a few times, enemies done, how are you a co-survivor when we don't leave none, shit, put it on tape, watch it like a rerun, I got partners with the grills, want me get my teeth done, open face shit, cult leader waiting on my spaceship. You don't see us winning, better go and get your Lasix. Basics, infinity garland matching the bracelet. Made me get this snapping like Thanos in the ring. The way I walk like a cult leader. How I talk like a cult leader. How I move like a cult leader. Everything off the meter. One West undefeated. How I walk like a cult leader. How I talk like a cult leader. How I move like a cult leader. Everything off the meter. One West undefeated. Come on. Got it all playing, riding for my dogs, man. Cram a couple niggas with blickies up in the small van. Jungle like Tarzan, jewels in the armband. Still drink a cold old English out of tall can. Drinking more liquor in the rental, we got 2 doors. World domination, I'm bald like Lex Luthor. Gotta stay focused, sounding like Doc Umar. Ain't no dashiki, nigga, my squad needs me. Got the lions through the graveyard like Rafiki. But this ain't no Disney, more like a horror movie. 4K, too high quality for some Tubi. Cats wanna watch it, better pay for the premium. I don't rap for free no more, pay the team in them. You really wanna hear me? Cut the check to the committee. I ain't had to sell my soul, I ain't had to party with Diddy. All I did was grab the killers out every one of these cities. Cause I walk like a cold leader. How I talk like a cold leader. How I move like a cold leader. Everything off the meter. One West undefeated, and I walk like a cold leader. How I talk like a cold leader. How I move like a cold leader. Everything off the meter. One West undefeated, and I walk and I talk like a cold leader. And I move like a cold leader. Undefeated, cause I walk like a cold leader, and I talk like a cold leader. How I move like a cold leader. Everything off the meter. One West undefeated, and I walk.
There's a question, sir, about why sex is marriage.
Why is sex marriage? Sex is marriage because it is the only union that is unbreakable, that you cannot get away from it. If you fall out of love with your woman, sex will still bind you to her for the rest of your life. If you are absolutely in love with your woman, sex will bind you to her for the rest of your life. Sex takes away any importance of your people. Why? Because when you have sex with her and you get her pregnant, she's in your life forever.
Coming up, you know the attitude. We ain't give a fuck. Nigga, fuck 12. Ain't you the cuz? Shorty dropped out of school now. Really he the plug. Niggas don't cash hands, but you can hold the slug. Can't wait to push a nigga face back like a bug. And keep a tray 8, and baby it's a snub. 21 and a savage, hearing 42 Doug. Really in the street, shorty wanna be a thug. He ain't want no pigeon, she ain't want no scrub. Just met and she fucking out the club. Ain't fucking with a rubber, ain't afraid of no bug. But he gon' heal once then, baby that's a dub. Roe verse Wade, that she wanna kill a cub. Fed up with men, shorty said she had enough. Got her heart broken, now she fucking with a stud. Now a whole generation growing up without love. Real nigga what?
Nobody else in life can ask the repercussions of sex. It's so permanent. It's so permanent to whatever. What believes in marriage is what? Marriage life. A marriage life is that you go to the justice of the peace, you sign it, and then next week you sign a divorce agreement. And you do that.
It's the third dude she posts, she can't keep a man. She wanna give her son the world, but can't give him a dad. Nowadays, these women think they son ain't man. He'll get a woman like his mom soon as he get the chance. Since F&F became the trend, whoever make the most money, that's who wear the pants. Wear the tongue out on top of the car, shaking ass. Anybody with a bag, she gon' let him smash. It's the third man, she got her child calling dad. He think it's normal, he don't understand. It's like an episode of Maury Poe. In the future, don't fall victim to a Lori Hart. Become a man, you gon' see why your pops left. Because your mama was a monster like the Loch Ness. Yeah. Now here he is, his mom only son. He the next generation growing up without love. What up?
You give me 2 brothers, you give me 1 brother. who has a marriage license with a woman. Then give me another brother who has a baby with a woman and no marriage license. Which one is more tied to that? Who gets into the question? You want to give it a shot? Pretty good. The one that has a baby with the woman. He's the one that is tied to her forever. He's the one that's going to go to jail when he doesn't pay his child support.
Hear the hunger in my voice, they used to tell me to speak up. The problem wasn't what I was saying, they couldn't keep up. Instead of moving around with some patience, they tried to speed up. It got colder than a bitter bitch, found me a way to heat up. What's a favor for a favor if we all didn't make it? Kept it 100 with everybody, but they just won't change. I ain't get caught up in the hype, cause I ain't feel like I made it. Couldn't picture me here now, but here's your moment to frame it. And I ain't never understand that self-entitlement spirit. I felt the vibe, I don't wanna get near it. Before I made the appearance, I took a second, took a look in the mirror. This God, Lord, the only thing that I fear. Y'all got me fucked up. It's all passion. It's tradition. It ain't fashion. It's no action. They make threats and it's still passive. I think massive. No response. That's still tact. Y'all should quit rapping. Cheap shots. I'm cinematic. I ain't average. I'm an overdose fanatic. How I go, you lose and win like asthmatics. I got first. That's automatic. I'm the best in my division. In the ghetto like the pigeons. In the hood like the engine. You a bird for that chicken. I don't fake split decisions cause my mind made up, nigga. We in the end of time, but my time ain't up. Now when I was young and running wild and wide-eyed like a cabbage patch, I had to get it as vivid, adapted to my habitat. It's certain shit I won't do, certain shit you can't prove. My shit sound like a payday, yours like more when the rent. If I had $1 for every dime you counted, I would be broke. Watch it be close, got a better chance, boxing the goal. And they know I'm raw, and they know the squad, and I'm feeling lost, still in charge. I don't make them follow, I follow the law. Standing tall like they on Mars. I just got a call from my bro, he behind the wall, he told me let it off. Niggas lying for some cat, I got a different line in me. Everybody intimidated, I got that guy in me. You can focus on the downs, I'd rather keep my nine with me. Help me get this off the ground, just know you won't fly with me now.
I try and make the news. I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gonna be the living. Y'all out here looking like fools. Home the truth, I ain't never had to choose.
I'm trying to get beamed up, man. Y'all try and make the news. I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gonna pay the bill. Y'all out here looking like fools. Home of the truth, y'all ain't never had to choose. Trying to get beamed up, man. Y'all try and make the news. I ain't playing by the rules. I've been trying to play it cool, but that ain't gonna pay the bill. Y'all out here looking like fools. Home of the truth, y'all ain't never had to choose. Trying to get beamed up.
Add this to the stage. Yeah, mic check. Check 1 2 1 2. Yeah, hey, let me get a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. We live and direct. This is Cross the Line Radio. Adolphus last Captain Katazai ain't playing. Nah, man, Barzal ain't playing. Captain Ty War ain't playing. Natazab Tay. Shout out to everybody that's on Tri-Vibes. If y'all ain't got it already, download the app. It's available on Apple. It's available in the Apple Store. It's also available in the Google Play Store. We getting the ones y'all can hear me loud and clear. You know what I'm saying? Brothers is dropping some wild music right now. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can call us up. The phone lines are going to be wide open tonight, 917-779-9499. You can also click the link that's in the chat if y'all want to actually come on screen. Yeah, exactly. Perfect. You know what I'm saying? Next time you can just say copy. We'll do it automatically. Yep. It might even be on the clipboard too. So when you go to paste, it'll pop up and just select it. You know what I'm saying? So who we got with us tonight? I don't know who Foxy is. We got Yaquar, Adolphus last, Dan Bo. We don't say Shalom on this side of the tracks. Tony Estrada, you know what I'm saying? Another name that I see often. Let me see who else is with us tonight, man. Oh, we on all them channels. That's fire, StreamYard makes life so easy. I ain't even hold. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can bring him on. You know what I'm saying? We'll start early, then we'll get into the rest of our announcements. Oh, you gotta get it. Whoa! Block him, you sick bastard. You're banned from the studio. You sick bastard. This is why this place needs to burn. Yeah, you know what? I'm changing the rule, man. From now on, y'all gotta be on screen first before y'all come up. Man, I'm glad y'all ain't catch that. It was my virgin eyes. Real talk. He said you was quick. Yeah, listen, shout out to Officer Paratazada, the quickest trigger in the damn East Coast. You know what I'm saying? That was crazy. Y'all blessed that y'all ain't see that shit. My man William McLeod just thinking. He said Shaq Yehuda. Y'all be killing me. Check the phone lines right quick. Now you gotta go up to the top. To the top. Slow down. To the left. Right there. Hit the unmute button. Is you muted? Boom. 302-256. You're on the air, Cross Line Radio. State your name, where you calling from.
Hey, Shalom, this is Troy from Delaware.
Hey, Shalom, Lord Christ. What's going on? You got a question or a comment?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you a question. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for your dedication. Well, I know it's an ISUPK thing, but I want to thank you for your dedication to the 12 tribe charts. The couple of videos you put out lately, talking about the 12 tribes really pieced a lot of things together for me. But I wanted to ask you, when it comes to, do you hear me?
Yeah, no, I hear. I was saying Most High in Christ, but go ahead. You got it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. When it comes to, because I know I read something, you guys had talked about something before, and I read something before about how the slave traders kind of basically targeted us when we were in West Africa, when it came to who can farm the rice, who can farm the sugar cane and the cotton and everything like that. So is it safe to say that, or is it a fair assumption to say that we were pretty much flourishing in that area at the time? Because when I look at the maps, it says Negro land and Kingdom of Judah. Were we somewhat flourishing in that area at the time?
Yeah, and the Hamites hated it. When you go and you read certain historians, like one of the main books a lot of brothers read, I laugh because now it kind of became like a Hebrew Israelite starter kit, is Rudolph Windsor's Babylon and Timbuktu. And he talks about how when the real Jews, that was us, the Southern Kingdom, fled Judea and went into West Africa, they started thriving. And then as a result, it caused a lot of discrepancies with, you understand, the natural born Hamites of that land. And as a result, it started beef. You know what I'm saying? It's no different than when they created Liberia. Over enough time, you know what I'm saying, the native Liberians didn't like us in that land prospering, and then they assassinated the president. And and then over time, as they wanted to expand their territories, like you have the Akan Empire, those tribes like the Dahomey, those tribes like the Bantu, those tribes that are all over there, you know what I'm saying, like in that region, they wanted to go to war, so they started making deals with the Portuguese, with the Spanish, with the English, and trading them for materials and weapons so that they could have their territorial conquest. And then they conquered us and sold the Southern Kingdom of Judea, you understand, over to those different countries. And then eventually you got the doorway of no return, things of that nature.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I was wondering that because it seemed like the case it was. So, and one more question. When it comes to the Native Indians, our Native Indian brothers and sisters, do we know where they get their culture from? You know, we get our culture from, you know, the Black America. We get our culture from America, Black people in America. Where does the Native Indians get their culture as far as, you know, spirits and, you know, being in touch with nature? Is that an East Indian thing, or do we know?
Okay, it depends. Okay, this is what you got to realize, right? You could read certain accounts of Gad saying that the more influence and the more time that they spent around Europeans, the more they lost who they were. For example, like circumcision was found amongst the North American Indians, but so many generations passed that the younger generations was like, we're just doing it out of tradition. And when they talked to the elders, some of them would say it was a religious ceremony, and some of them would say they didn't even know, because the more that they dealt with European society, the more they lost themselves. And this is what you got to know too. A lot of the reports that we get and are misnomers. You know what I'm saying? Like if you could understand, like one of the biggest lies that's or most famous lies that's taught in the education system is Christopher Columbus discovered America. We agree?
Right. Yeah.
So now, is that the truth?
No, it's not.
No, but that's what they teach. You know what I'm saying? You ever see the movie Apocalypto by Mel Gibson?
Oh yeah. Yep.
So how did he have the natives dressing in that film?
He had them dressing, you know, with the you know, the cloth, the animal cloth skin. Yeah.
Now, do you think we were really like that?
No. Now I know that, yeah, we weren't like that for real.
These are the reports that we get. Same thing when it comes down to that whole spirit this and spirit that. You know what I'm saying? Did the North American Indians go off? Absolutely. And especially when they lost themselves dealing inside the culture. You know what I'm saying? Meaning the new subculture that's being created and morphed and bastardized as they're going into captivity, as they're dealing with oppression, as, you know, save the Indian, kill the Indian, save the man is coming around with all these different policies and the boarding schools and, you know, the displacement, the Trail of Tears, the reservations, all these different acts that come up. Everything is getting jumbled up, and then now all we have is what they're telling us. All we have is that popular narrative. So none of that is really true at face value. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the propaganda that they spread about us. They say we worship trees. They say we were naked. We did human sacrifice, cannibalism. You got some reports that even said the natives were the source of syphilis. We know that Europeans brought that disease here. You know what I'm saying? So which one is it? Did y'all bring diseases that we didn't have immunities for, or were we the source of it? Because it wasn't here before you got here. So a lot of the stuff that you deal with is misinformation.
Okay, so you just got to keep in your mind that the white man is the devil. They got to deceive you. Yeah. Okay.
Listen, our oppressor is you understand, is a liar, and not only that, but there's a lot of misinformation. And I'm gonna have like part 2, 3, and 4 coming soon for the rest of the 12 tribes breakdown. And I'm gonna get into a lot of that information that was spread. So the last one that I did, which was part 1, was about propaganda of how they divided and conquered us. And anybody who doesn't look at North American Indians or quote unquote indigenous Hispanics, you understand, as their brother, you're a byproduct of white supremacy. And what you'll find is the decrees that came from Spain, the decrees that came from American leaders and English leaders who wanted to divide us. And they divided us off complexion. They divided us off tribe. They did everything imaginable to make sure that we wouldn't connect.
Got you. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I'm looking forward to those next parts, because when you brought out how it just wasn't the tribe of Judah that was brought over in slave ships, I had never heard that before. So that pieced together a lot, because when I read that Deuteronomy, I'm always just thinking about the tribe of Judah. But you showed a couple more tribes that, you know, were brought over in slave ships. So that pieced a lot of things together to understand it.
Because what you got to realize is that you have the North American Indians here, and a lot of that history is suppressed because America tries to cover up the oppression that they did. But one of the biggest black eyes that they had was having Judah in slavery. And then you got to remember that the quote-unquote Hispanic tribes that were either got pushed deeper into Mexico or were living in the Caribbean and South America didn't start coming in to America in droves until later. So a lot of the history and a lot of the focus in America is on Judah because that's who the quote-unquote Caucasians or Europeans were here with. And that was the population they were trying to initially control until you get World War I, World War II. And now they open up the doors to immigration. And that's what happened where the first, like, for example, the first Puerto Rican diaspora came in during the World Wars. And then that's when a lot of us came in to Chicago, New York, Florida, and Boston. You know what I'm saying? Up in New England. You know what I'm saying? And now, as time goes on, all the tribes are increasingly over the years coming into America. So it's like those histories weren't focused on because of who the Europeans had to deal with from a North American perspective. But it's different in the schools in South America. It's different in the schools in Mexico because they're teaching from their paradigm, from their perspective, what happened, you understand, in their country. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, thanks again, Captain Calzadon. Like I said, I look forward to the other parts you have with the 12 tribes, so thanks again.
No sweat. Somebody's saying the mic doesn't sound good. Let me know what the quality's like, all right? No sweat.
All right, yeah, sounds good.
Anytime. Let's go back to the phone line and get another call. You can call anytime, huh?
All right, thank you, sir.
503-563. You're on the air with Cross. Unmute him.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Hey, Shalom. What's happening? Who's this?
Hey, what's up, man? This is Brother Az.
Say it again.
This is Asael from last time.
No sweat. Hold on 1 second. You're saying that there's an echo?
Yeah, I think on the probably coming out through the camera. The speaker on the camera. You got to change it to like MX14 or something.
Yeah, you gotta change your settings. Hold on. Go to
settings right here.
Yeah, that's why. So I don't know how that happened.
Yeah.
Change the camera. Come down. Yeah, so click there.
MX. Yeah.
You knew that this whole time?
Oh no, I literally was checking it. See, but
Hey, check. Let me know if it's fixed now.
there you go. It's on.
Let me see. Perfect. All right. Man, I wish y'all would have told me that earlier, man. No wonder why. Like, were y'all even able to hear the caller?
Comic-Con.
That boy Polo, I don't even know how the hell you got on. Listen, ban him. Ban that account for what the hell you did coming on screen. Ban and delete their comments. That's crazy. To the caller, you said, who's this?
Hey, what's up? Asael from last time.
I don't know what last time was. What was last time?
It was probably a couple weeks back.
Okay, what happened a couple of weeks back?
It's just a long story. I came on to ask you something different.
Okay, jog my memory. I'm trying to. You know how many people I talked to in a week? How many shows we did? How many videos? I can't remember everybody.
It's all good. It's all good, bro. You don't have to remember me. That's what I'm saying. It don't even matter. I'm just a regular guy, and I just want your understanding on Matthew 13 concerning the wheat and the tares.
Okay, what about it?
Verse 24. What's your exegesis of the passage?
I hate that word. I just want you to know that word is like I feel like that word and shalom go together. exegesis, eisegesis. You know what I'm saying? You want a breakdown? You want my interpretation?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, it's about sincere and unsincere brothers. You understand? That are, coming into the truth and attempting to do the work. And the Lord is going to separate those, you understand, that are sincere and really about it. It's like when it's like, you familiar with the parable of the sower?
Yeah.
So you know how there was seed that landed on stony ground, seed that landed on good soil, seed that landed on loose soil, right?
Yeah.
And then over time, the ones that aren't sincere get weeded out, and then the ones that land in the good soil make it to the harvest.
Time.
It's like that.
Okay. Kataza, would I be able to trouble you with me for a little bit? And could I challenge you on your stance?
I mean, if you want, you know what I'm saying? But like, okay, so what is your stance on it?
Can we read the passage line by line?
I don't have a problem, but can you give me your stance? I just gave you my stance. Can I hear your stance?
Yeah, my stance would be, that's talking about the holy seed getting its mingling itself with the heathen. The tares would represent the other nations.
I think I remember you now. You used to be in GMS?
No.
That's a GMS doctrine.
Oh, well.
What school of thought did you come from?
We agree then. I guess we agree then on that standpoint.
What school of thought did you come from?
Well, when I first was introduced to the truth through GOCC.
I'm sorry to hear that, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. But I mean, honestly, Kataza, I really didn't come here to give a whole dissertation about my past. I would really just like for you to explain to me how that's not what it's, if I'm wrong, or, I mean, is that wrong?
Yeah, I said one thing, you're saying another. So one of us got to be right, one of us got to be wrong, correct?
Okay. So then how would we figure out who's telling the truth and who's not?
So certain things, right? What it comes down to is like interpretation. You know what I mean? Like that we could argue all day and night over interpretation. At the end of the day, I don't think I'm going to change you. You know what I'm saying? You sure as hell ain't going to change me. I don't have a problem with you sharing your stance, which you did. You know what I'm saying? And you can give me a line of reasoning, just like I gave you my line of reasoning. You know what I'm saying? I also precepted with the other agricultural parable in which, seeds fell on the ground, and those that were sincere and rooted and in the truth made it to the harvest, and those that didn't. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't really care if you agree or not, but you know what I'm saying, I'll give you the respect of the floor to state your stance. Like this isn't something major to me. You know what I'm saying? This isn't, you know what I mean? This isn't even usually something people debate about.
Well, this would have profound impacts on the epistles of Paul. If we misinterpret this is going to impact our understanding of his epistles.
Now you just reminded me. So you're the one that's anti-Paul. I remember the conversation now. This wouldn't have anything to do with that. And again,
for the record, I got to clear my name.
Mm-hmm.
I have to have a good reputation. I never said that. I don't hold Paul to the same level as I do Moses.
I don't even know what the comparison is about. You know what I'm saying? Like, Moses laid down the law and passed down the foundation of everything. You know what I'm saying? All Paul did was have a Gentile mission and went to those that were dispersed and tried to bring them home and try to teach the people who thought they were home to accept them back so we could bring the nation together. I mean, it's not, you know what I'm saying, really deeper than that. And that this is
but Paul, the reason why is because when people read his letters, they read it to their own destruction.
Okay, and again, that's another interpretation that me and you disagree on. You read it to your own destruction because you don't understand him, because it says those that are unlearned and unstable do wrestle with it as they do the other scriptures. You're taking it as in people are reading it to their own destruction. He's saying that you don't understand Paul just like you don't understand other scriptures.
All right. That's I mean, that's fair for you to say. I can't judge you for making that statement because we have two different points of view. So I guess that would lead me back to my initial question then. How do we know who has the truth and who doesn't? And basically your answer was through the precepts.
Okay. So that you phrased it a little bit differently, right? Me and you are just having a individual dialogue. So we both presented a stance, right? Overall, in the macro, how you know who has the truth and who doesn't. All right. So since you're saying that, this is how I would determine, you understand, where the truth is or who has the truth or who doesn't have the truth. I use this example all the time. The majority of the world would agree that America is the epicenter of Babylon. You understand? Christendom, Rasta, Israelites around the world, you understand? There's one thing that I think the majority of the people agree with, you know what I'm saying? Speaking generally, and that's America's Babylon. And the reason why we know that is because we go into the scriptures and we can see the characteristics of Babylon being described in the Bible and now matching up today. You don't just see America, you see the attributes of it. Well, it's the same thing when it comes down to the truth. One of the major ways Christ told us in Matthew's the 7th chapter, he said, ye shall know them by their fruits. Another way is he says that ye shall know they are my disciples by how they treat one another. So there's identifying markers to know if somebody has the truth or not. Same thing. Christ had a battle. I believe it's in John, the 10th chapter. And as you get down to the 20th something verse, they wanted to stone Christ. And he turned around and said, even if you don't understand, are my works of the Lord. And if my works are of the Lord, then even if you don't understand, my doctrine must be of the Lord. So we got works, we have doctrine, we have fruits that you have to go by and look at and to see if that would be of the Lord or not. And all of those are identifying markers as to where the body of Christ would be. And that's how you find the truth. Because it's not, I know people who, for example, do you believe that Esau is the so-called white man?
Yes.
So a lot of people agree with that. You understand? Do you agree that the law is not done away with?
Correct.
So there's things that people can have agreements on, but as you get deeper, there's minute points which changed, and now the doctrine gets altered. But there's only one faith, one Lord, one baptism. There's really only one doctrine. So then the question does arise as to who then is the home of the truth? Where is the body of Christ? Now we have to look past the doctrine and we have to look at the actions, the works. So this is what I would tell you. I mean, if you think you got the truth, stay where you're at. I believe ISUPK is the home of the truth. This is where I plant my flag. This is where I plant my banner, and this is where I lead people. And we doing just fine.
And then, you know, and that's why I have to say I love the work that you are doing, because we're, like you said, there's only one doctrine.
Right.
I mean, so we all have one doctrine. We believe we have one Lord. The Lord our God is one. We believe that he has a begotten son, right, who the world calls Jesus, but his name is Yahweh Shai. We believe that Only through him can we get salvation that is only promised for the Israelites.
But
pretty much that's pretty much the core principles of our doctrine, of our faith, right?
Those are the things that me and you agree on, but it also says one body. Me and you are not one body, and we're not one faith totally, because you called up and said off the rip, I'd like to challenge you on that because we disagree. Like when I read, can you do me a favor? Can you pull up 1 Corinthians 1:10 for me? Because I'd like to read this one verbatim, because we've been doing a lot of paraphrasing. And to anybody else who's on the line right now, I see y'all in the queue. I'm gonna finish this call up, and then I'll slide over to y'all. So you know what I'm saying? The phone lines are gonna be open the entire night. Just hang tight. So 1 Corinthians 1:10, please and thank you. So now, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 10, and it says, now I beseech you. Paul's saying, you understand, I beseech you, brethren. You understand? Like, I'm pleading with you. By the name of our Lord. We said there's one Lord, one faith, one baptism. I'm going to say the Hebrew, Yahawashi Mashiach, which is Jesus Christ, is what would be written there for anybody who doesn't know that. That ye all speak the same thing, and that there be no divisions among you, but that ye be perfectly joined together in the same mind and in the same judgment. Me and you are not in the same mind. We're not in the same judgment. We're not perfectly joined together, which is why you're in another, I don't know where.
Well, hold on. I think we should test that theory. I think that we are. I think ultimately, we are of one mind. I think that we are of one judgment.
You know how I know we're not? Because this is the.
Okay, let's give an example.
Give an
example.
I'll give you an example, right? It says, speak the same thing. I say that the wheat and the tares is, for lack of a better term right now, sincere and unsincere. And you say it's what?
Well, I mean, here's the thing, Katazar.
Just be straight with me.
Ultimately, I think that this is talking about the Gentiles mingling among the Israelites.
So do me and you speak the same thing?
I would have to say yes.
How do we speak the same thing if I am saying one thing and you are saying another?
Well, because let's look at it for a second. We believe that the tares are going to be destroyed.
But
do you believe that the tares are going to be destroyed, correct?
If that's what the scripture says, then I believe it. However,
so I mean,
me and
so
you,
I believe.
Go ahead.
I believe the same thing. The tares are going to be destroyed. Now, another question for you.
But before we go there,
hold on.
But hold on.
Come on. I haven't been able to speak. I really haven't been able to speak that much.
I got you, but you've been asking me questions. You know what I'm saying? And I just asked you a question and you answered it. But this is my point of deterrence, though. You found an area that's common, right? However, we disagree on who the wheat and the tares is. We don't speak the same thing. The floor is yours.
No, listen, Katazar, you gotta let me finish. Hold on, let me finish my line of questioning, and this will explain how we are of one mind, we are of one body. So we both agree that the tares will be destroyed. Do you believe that Esau will be saved?
No.
So would Esau be considered wheat, or would Esau be considered a tare?
In this context, he wouldn't be considered either.
My question.
I'm answering your question.
Would Esau be wheat, or would he be a tare?
I'm answering. He would be neither in this context, because this context wasn't talking about us and heathens. It was talking about us and those that don't believe among us.
Okay, so can we look at the verse? Can we pull up the verse and can we read it real quick?
I don't have a problem pulling up the verse, right? And we can pull up the verse. That's fine. We can read it. However, me and you do not speak the same thing, and we are not in the same body. The body that I'm in is ISUPK. Are you in the ISUPK?
Wait, I thought you were in the body of Christ.
I'm in the ISUPK that I believe is the body of Christ. So now, again,
because I don't see that in the scriptures. I don't see
I'm
ISUPK
just
in
saying,
the
like,
scripture.
you could say yes or no though. Let your yay be yay and your nay be nay. Are you in here with me?
In spirit.
You're in spirits. This is, you've been very respectful. You know what I'm saying? And so what I'm about to say to you, I don't want it to come off abrasive. You know what I'm saying? So I want you to know that I'm telling you this with love, because this isn't something only for you. This is something that I hope the broader Israelite community, or so-called Israelite community, is able to hear. Y'all need to grow up and stop living in a delusional bubble of this token of unity and unity camps and like we're all together. I'm going to give you one example and then we could read the scripture together. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a room on Clubhouse the other night, right? And I went in there randomly. Somebody pulled me up on stage. They modded me. I'm chilling. I'm listening to this breakdown. I listened to the whole breakdown and they're talking to this Christian, and then I disagreed with it, but I wanted to hear how he rectified something. So I asked the question. When I asked the question, the room turned into an uproar, and they turned around to me and said, "Oh, Cap, you know, we there's 5 different banners up here and we don't want to disagree with each other." You know what I'm saying? So we want to talk about what we're united on. And I'm like, y'all can talk about what you agree on. I'm like, but I don't have to agree with you. I'm asking this question because I want to know how he rectifies it. I sat in here, I didn't unmute, I listened to everything. And now they start giving me pushback. And then I said, you know what? I'm tired of this fake brotherhood. I'm tired of this token of brotherhood that y'all push, because if all of you were united, why do you have 5 different goddamn banners and none of you believe the same thing, but you want to talk about commonalities? That's fake shit. Me and Captain Zaryak agree on everything when it comes to scriptures. We agree on everything when it comes to following orders and doing this work. We are not divided. I like the Jets, he liked the Giants. What does that got to do with Christ? Not a goddamn thing. But everything else, when it comes down to the Bible, we agree on, because me and him speak the same thing. Me and him have the same faith, the same Lord, the same baptism, and are in the same body. Everybody else, stop playing brotherhood. But the floor is yours.
Yeah. So can we pull up that passage real quick? Matthew 13.
Matthew's 13 and what?
Yeah. Verse 24.
You want to?
I'm gonna show you, Katazah, that we are of one faith.
Mm-hmm.
We are of one baptism.
I think I just showed that we're not, but I'll read it for time's sake, and then after this, I'm gonna go to another caller. But go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. You want me to read it, or
if you don't mind, you know what I'm saying? I got it pulled up on the screen, but if since this is your breakdown, I would prefer if you read it and lead it. All right.
Okay, so it says, another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. So do you agree that this man who sowed good seed in his field, what man is this?
So the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which soweth good seed in his field. You understand? So this is talking about the truth. This is talking about Christ. This is talking about he's putting out the word to build the kingdom.
Amen. Okay. Would Peter and Paul be a part? Is that the man too?
I'm sorry.
Or is that just?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Would Peter and Paul, would they be considered that man?
I mean, as they're under Christ, you know what I'm saying? So as a result, this is, you know what I'm saying? I can't make them more than one person. They're under his authority. Paul said, be ye followers of me as I am of Christ.
Okay. Is this man a Israelite?
I mean, it's a parable, of course. I mean, the kingdom of heaven is for Israelites. Good seed is Israelites.
Okay, so this is a Israelite man who is sowing good seed in his field.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, boom, that's it. I mean, we could pretty much close it right there. We agree. We're talking about an Israelite man sowing his seed in a field.
Oh, all right. Listen, if that's gonna make you sleep better at night, Ak, and you want to believe that we agree on that, cool. You know what I'm saying? But We don't.
Because I mean,
we
trust
don't.
me,
We
'cause
don't.
you
We
would
don't
also agree.
but what we don't
you-
agree on. And listen, if me and you agreed, you wouldn't have called up and said, "I want to challenge you on this." There would be no challenge. We would just be in agreement.
Well, basically not challenge. I maybe it came out wrong. I just wanted to do a thorough check. I just want to look at it thoroughly, and basically, you would also agree that the scriptures can be twofold as well, right?
Certain scriptures, yes, they are manifold.
Okay, and you're saying that this one is not.
It's a parable. So by the definition of parable, it's saying one thing and meaning another. So this is like a metaphor.
So it does have multiple meanings
pertaining to the same context.
Okay, so let me keep reading. Verse 25. But while men slept, his enemies came and sowed tares among the wheat. So who are these men that are sleeping?
While men slept, meaning those that are underneath this man, you understand, that work inside of this field.
And the field is the world, right?
Sure.
I mean, if this is a parable, everything has a meaning to it. So basically, the men that slept, these were Israelite men. Now, when did this occur?
This is your breakdown. You have to tell me when this occurred. Like this is you telling me your interpretation.
Well, this is talking about the history of the Israelites. Jesus is giving us the history.
Your stance. That's what you say, but continue.
So this isn't giving the history of the Israelites?
This is what you're saying, so continue.
Okay, well, he's saying that the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. The man is not just one man, it's plural. There's more than one. And we understand that this is talking about the Israelite man. So then we go to verse 25, but while men slept. What men slept here? The Israelite men. Now, when did this happen in history?
I'm getting tens in the chat too, so you're gonna have to speed this one up, and then we're gonna get to the next call. All right.
Okay. This happened all the way back in the wilderness when we were mingling with the heathen. Right? It says his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. And also we see Israelites getting conquered in history, and the children of Israel were mingled among the nations. Even when Ezra and Nehemiah came on the scene, they couldn't know who was who. So, I mean, that's it, really, bro. But I just wanted to show that we do agree to some extent, and we agreed on verse 24, 25, and 26, because you agreed that those were Israelite men that were sowing their seed.
Okay. And what we don't agree is on the interpretation. I gave you my interpretation earlier and said that this has nothing to do with heathens that's mixed in amongst us, but rather those that are on good soil and those that are not, which I gave the other parable as an example. We don't speak the same thing. If that makes you sleep at night, then you know what I'm saying, then sleep tight, brother. You know what I'm saying? Do me a favor, give me the next call. If you want to hang out, you know what I'm saying, I'll come back to you in a minute, but I got two other callers on the line, all right? You could mute that line and then we'll come back to him. 510-712. This is Cross the Line Radio. State your name, where you calling from.
Shalom, y'all.
You should break. Who's this?
This is DK calling from the Bay Area.
From the Bay, man. What's going down? You got a question or a comment?
Yeah, I just wanted to break down on the scripture on Matthew 15 and 11.
Matthew 15 and what?
Matthew 15 and 11.
15 and 11. Let's go there.
For sure.
No sweat. This is a very polite man right here. He know manners. So now it says, Not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which cometh out of a mouth defileth a man. This is the Christian. What Christian you talk to that wants to eat pork?
every one of them I talk to will either eat pork, strip, crab, and frog leg.
Roll up.
That's the new one, frog leg.
Oh man. Oh, you know why? Because of social media, they getting fancy. Go up.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Scroll up a little further. Scroll up a little further. All right. I'm gonna start at verse 1 so we can get the context. All right. So this is Matthew's 15:1. It says, "Then came to Yahushua scribes and Pharisees which were of Jerusalem, saying, Why do the disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread." What is this battle about?
Washing your hands.
Washing your hands before you what?
Eat some food.
Before you eat. What were they eating?
They were eating. I think they were eating. Wasn't they eating corn?
It says right here. It says when they eat bread.
Bread, swaki.
Right. So the first thing you got to understand is what the context is. This ain't about pork. This ain't about swine. This ain't about catfish. This ain't about escargot or frog legs. None of that. You know what I'm saying? So what we're seeing here is that now here's something else too. Tradition of the elders. Is that the law of Moses?
No.
You know it's a tradition of my elders that troopers wear all black. It's not in the law for you to wear all black. That's our tradition that we keep. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. Like I don't have my sunglasses on tonight, but if you ever seen me all the way on up to Commandant General Mahayman on down wearing sunglasses indoors or at night, that's a tradition that we got from our elders. That's not law. You don't have to wear sunglasses indoors or at night or whatever the case may be. That's our tradition. You with me?
Right, I'm with you.
So now let's read the next verse and find out what the battle is. Give me verse 3.
But he answered and said unto them, Why do ye also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition?
So now, what outranks more, the commandments of God or the tradition of men?
The commandments of God.
A commandment of God is anything that God ordered us to do or not do, correct?
Correct.
In Leviticus, the 11th chapter, did he command us to eat pork or not eat pork?
Not eat pork.
Which means if you eat pork, you're not following God's tradition. You're breaking God's commandment for a tradition you learned from a man, correct?
Correct.
So now let's keep reading. Go ahead.
For God commanded, saying, Honor thy father and mother, and he that curseth father or mother, let him die the death.
You understand? And this is for Christians that think God was all love. You understand? Christ just said, if you dishonor your father and mother, what's supposed to happen to you? Let him die the death.
Die.
Ain't that what it said?
Die.
Because Christ is saying, obey the law. And if you break the law, what should happen to you?
Die.
Let's keep reading. Go ahead.
But ye say, whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, it is a gift, by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me.
Keep reading.
And honor not his father or his mother, he shall be free.
Finish it.
Thus have ye made the commandment of God of none effect by your tradition.
Because it's not a gift onto your mother and father. It's a law onto them. You owe your mother and father. You ain't doing them a favor. You owe them because they took care of you when you couldn't take care of yourself. So what should you do when you're older?
Take care of them when they can't take care of themselves.
Honor your mother and father. And if not, you break the law. So Christ is talking about keeping the law and not breaking it, correct?
God.
Bring me back. Now read verse 7.
Ye hypocrites, well did Isaiah prophesy of you, saying. This people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me.
So he's still talking about people that think they worship God, think they serve God, but really they don't. Go ahead.
But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrine the commandments of men.
Meaning, what's more important, the commandments of God or the commandments of men?
Commandments of God.
Keep reading.
And he called the multitude and said unto them, hear and understand.
Hear and
Not
understand.
that-
Understand this. You understand? Read it again.
And he called the multitude and said unto them, hear and understand, not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man.
So now,
but
what was going into the disciples' mouth at this time? Pause. I shouldn't say that after the scripture. Forgive me.
Traditions of men.
But they were eating bread, right? And what was dirty to them
Right,
was
they
that
were
they didn't
eating
wash their hands. The battle wasn't
Right.
about clean or unclean food. The battle was if you washed your hands or not. So he's saying if they wash their hands or not, that's not what's going to defile them. Let me tell you what really defiles you. Go ahead.
But that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth a man.
You know what comes out of a mouth? False doctrine, lies, deceit, deception, hypocrisy. That's going to defile you. Keeping the traditions of men over God's laws will defile you. But this is what I know. The Most High said, don't eat pork. You eat pork, and you're going and you telling someone they can eat pork. You're defiling yourself. Because what's coming out of your mouth is break the commandment of God. What's coming out of your mouth is defy the laws of God, and your actions is keeping the traditions of men. You understand? Sometimes you got to just read up a couple of verses. It'll give you the whole context. All right.
Yeah, I got you.
Any other questions?
No, that's it. Can you just I'm gonna put myself on mute. Can you just keep me on so I can continue to listen?
No, I got you for sure. So you could just mute him, and then we'll get the next caller. Shout out to the Bay. I don't listen to E40, but you know what I'm saying. You're pretty cool. Let me stop, man. That's before Shalimar takes me to council. Go 647. Damn, I can't read that number. 237. You're on the air with Cross the Line Radio. State your name, where you calling from.
Yeah, this Shalom. This is Brother Spade from Toronto.
Hey, Shalom from Toronto. What's going on? You got a question or a comment? He's from the GTA, y'all.
Yeah. First of all, I want to thank you. I'm newly into the truth, and I've been watching you guys for a while. You guys are enlightening me a lot. I would like for you guys to break down the meaning of God as a man of war, and I'll just hang up and listen.
You gonna do a drive-by. He's gonna shoot and dip. You know what I'm saying? So God is a man of war is talking about his nature. How does the Christian church describe God?
Well, they describe him as like a peaceful and all loving and all forgiving God, right?
That's it right there. Just all love. They in essence describe God like the LGBT community. They think God is somebody soft who loves everybody and everything and just, wants, everything to just do whatever they want to do. But that is not a man of war. You understand? What did the Most High do to Pharaoh's army?
He washed them out.
He destroyed Pharaoh's
army.
He
destroyed them, yeah.
Because he's a man of war. You understand? And we're men of war. That's why like you heard that. Did you hear the breakdown a minute ago that I just gave against breaking God's laws and how we shouldn't eat pork?
Yeah, I loved it.
You know why? Because I'm at war with eating pork. I don't tolerate it. I don't say it's okay. I don't say yeah, if you want to live that way, it's fine. No, because my God is a man of war. I am at war with anything that goes against him, and I will challenge you, debate it, battle you on anything that we do not agree upon. You with me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
So it's talking about the content of the Most High's character. When you think of a warlord, that's closer to the character of God than this, peaceful, benevolent, white man sitting on the clouds with little white naked baby angels and harps and halos and everybody just singing Kumbaya, my Lord. That's not heaven. That's not real life. So it's talking about the nature of his character.
Yeah, I heard you guys do that breakdown once about how the beginning of creation was a reflection of God being a man of war too. And I wanted you guys, I was hoping that you go into that a little bit for me.
I got you. So does that satisfy you, or are you good?
Yeah, I like that. I'm learning, right? So I'm just asking questions so I can learn.
You could ask the questions whenever you want, my brother. All right.
All right, thank you.
Get in class, man. Hit them brothers up in Toronto.
Oh, for sure. A lot of guys doing work up here in Toronto. The movement is really building up here.
No doubt. Most High in Christ. All right.
All right, love. Peace.
Give me 516-830. It's Crossline Radio. State your name. Where you calling from?
What's up, man? It's Adam from New York.
From New York. That's a Long Island number. What's happening?
Yeah, shit. So y'all was on the other day, man. I mentioned I was trying to ask in the chat, and I kept pounding the question when y'all was talking about y'all was having a debate if if Joseph was the biological father of Jesus, etc. And I kept asking because I didn't take a stance one way or another, but from your point of view, I just kept asking. So, do you guys? Is it safe to say that you guys believe that King David is Jesus' grandfather, basically?
Great generation.
Hey, man, listen.
Yeah.
So, that's all, because it was confusing to me, because that's what I was thinking. Like, okay, well, King David is way back before Joseph, but the way the way I caught it was when Captain T was like, when he was explaining, like, oh, well, he's coming from the loins of David, and he's direct. I think, like, it was a mix from a direct descendant or something like that. So I was like, hold on. Is they trying to say that King David is Jesus' direct grandfather? Like, that's what I kept asking, but nobody was answering in the chat. That shit's kind of irritating. So now I got it out, answered it.
So just so you know, our tradition, right, is to name prominent members in your family. So like we have a registry. So I would be Katazah, the son of Ephraim, the son of Israel. You know what I'm saying? Ephraim being my tribe because that's a prominent member. You know what I'm saying? And Israel because that's the prominent man we all descend from. My father's name is Hiram. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't name him because he's not prominent in the work of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? But that's who is directly as my father. You know what I'm saying? His father is Hiram. I come from a long line of Hirams. You know what I'm saying? But he's not in the work of the Lord. So when it talks about him being from David's loins, it's because he is a direct descendant of him. And it's, over 14 generations. But the prophecy was concerning David. Christ could not be the king or Messiah if he didn't come from the loins of David, because that's what the prophecy was. Nathan came to him in 2 Samuel, the 7th chapter, and said that from your loins is going to come this king, and his kingdom will never end. I'm paraphrasing, of course. So that's why it runs down Christ's genealogy and names the prominent men that was in his family, because if he was not the descendant of David, it's almost like patents of nobility. You know what I'm saying? Like the Queen of England, right? You know how she was the queen forever?
Correct.
You know how like her son was supposed to be king. Do you know why she didn't abdicate the throne and give it to him?
No, I don't. Yeah.
Because he didn't marry somebody with a rich royal bloodline. So he went and married a civilian. So she was like, nah, you ain't sitting on this throne as long as I'm alive. Because who's in your bloodline matters, and that can weaken your claim to the throne. So like okay, for example, you watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I used to.
All right, what
More or less, but I know about all the bloodline stuff. Like, yeah, trust me, I know about all that. But I was gonna ask you, so I'm not confused. Like, cause when you said the queen, why she didn't give it to her son? Which son are you talking about? Because I know she has like 3 or some shit like that.
Oh shit, who was the eldest? Was it Edward? Which one was he?
Okay. I don't know. As long as you're saying him, because I know that I didn't know which one was the eldest, like the one who married Meghan Markle.
She didn't give it to none of them. She, you know what I'm saying? She didn't step off for none of them.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing. Like I said, like they went to war inside of all them different. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like Game of Thrones, for example, because that's like the famous feudal show everybody watched, because it was about bloodline. They're showing you Christ's bloodline, and they're saying this is his bloodline. This is how he descends from David. And if he didn't, he couldn't be king. And Joseph was the one who came from that house, because Joseph is his father, and that's how Christ was made of the seed of David.
Okay, I got you, brother. Like I said, I understand your points and your viewpoints. I just wanted to get that clarified so I wasn't off balance. But because that's been dawning in my mind ever since I heard it. Like, nah, that can't be right. So since you clarified it, I'm good with that.
No.
Shit, man. I don't want to take up too much of your time, brother. You have a good night, man. You get some other calls. Thank you.
Hey, no sweat. All right, shalom. 979-412. This is Crossline Radio. State your name, where you calling from.
Yeah, about Shimmy, I was
Shabrakta. Who's this?
This is Jay from Bryan, Texas. What's going on, Otto One? I'm the one that been lacing you up about the studio time in Houston and the beats and all that.
Oh, no doubt. What's happening?
Man, I got a question, man. So like I've been thinking about something, and it goes to referring to the coward standpoint. So if like Judas was a coward and he died a coward, correct?
Okay.
But would that be so? The reason I'm trying to say that I don't want to, because I'm trying to see if I'm in the wrong of what I think when it comes to brothers who are cowardly. Like when they pass on, should I give a shit about it? Like, should I even care? You know what I'm saying? If they died cowardly.
Okay. Okay, you're entitled to any feelings that you want. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not judged by your feelings, you're judged by your actions. What's up? Do you think? You know what I'm saying? So if somebody passes and you had compassion, you're entitled to your feelings. If somebody passed and you didn't have compassion or you didn't care, you're directly entitled to your feelings. You know what I'm saying? What you do, though, all of that is really what matters is your actions. So, for example, there's a lot of funerals that I haven't gone to, whether I believe them to be a coward or not, whether I love them or not, because I would have been unclean for 7 days. So as a result, I didn't go to that funeral, because then I would be missing out on pivotal time doing, you understand, the Lord's work. You understand? So what you do matters. And of course, if you're in this body, you can get counsel. You know what I'm saying? And you might have somebody in your family that nobody is there to bury. You know what I'm saying? And you should go do a service to them and make sure they get an honorable burial if that's somebody you love. But if it's somebody from the world that you saying you ain't even got respect for, I mean, why I wouldn't think twice over it. You know what I'm saying? But you're entitled to your feelings. What matters is your actions.
Down out of one car. All I needed.
No sweat.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah, shalom.
Yeshabrakatah, shalom. Go up to, before we go there, go up to the chat. Yeah, drop the link for anybody who wants to be able to come on screen. The phone lines are still wide open, 917-779-9499. Brother said he was talking to me about the studio and beats. I don't remember that conversation though. Let's swing back. And what was it? 503. Good. 503, you had another question or a comment?
Yeah, hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear.
Hey, what's up, man? Pleasure being with you, bro. In one body and one mind.
We are not one body and one mind, bro. Like,
Conscious, brother. Listen, bro. We are one mind. We are one body.
We're not.
We both
agree.
Listen, bro.
You're not.
Oh, listen. I'm gonna prove it. I'm gonna prove it to everyone.
You failed already.
If I listen, I'm listen. Just real quick before I move on. Listen. If we disagree on Matthew 13, but I keep the commandments of God, and I believe on Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, and I teach men so, right? Will I still get the kingdom with you?
Brother, first of all, like, here's what I want you to know. The first half of your question is a loaded question. I don't know you, man. I don't know if you keep God's commandments. I don't like you saying if. I heard something the other day, not too long ago. That's so funny. They said if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. I don't deal with what ifs. You get what I'm saying? I deal with what is. Everybody in this room right here, I know. I see them every single week inside of this class. Now, I don't know. Now, a lot of y'all troopers, I don't know y'all that deep. You know what I'm saying? I still have,
okay.
Don't trust you.
Wait.
Hold on.
Let's slow down.
No, slow down.
You're gonna go into a whole diatribe. Come on, man.
I am, because you set me off. You set me off. So I'm gonna finish this. All right. So now the scripture says, "Know them who labor among you." I don't know. Now here's something else, brother. Maybe you're the most, sincere Israelite outside the UPK. Maybe the Lord loves you. I don't know. Maybe he's going to have mercy on you. That's between you and the Lord. But I'll tell you what I believe. I believe if you're not in here with me, you are gambling with your life. You understand? The scripture says, make thine election sure. And I ain't found a surer way to make thine election than being inside here.
Katazar.
Yeah.
You're familiar that the angels are going to gather the elect from the four winds, from the four corners?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So, and Isaiah 11 also says from Assyria, from Pathros, from Ethiopia.
Okay.
Do you guys have schools in every single country in the whole world?
We're international. I don't even know where all the schools are. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're growing so fast that we might. I don't know.
So you guys have schools. You guys have schools in every single country.
At this point, I don't know. I wouldn't say every single country. I don't think that we're in Japan. I don't think that we're in. What's like that little?
Okay, so
basically,
we're in.
Hold on.
If we're going based off of your thought,
you're asking a question. I'm answering the question. I don't think that
you answered it already.
I didn't. How did I answer it if I didn't finish speaking?
You said I don't know. That's an answer.
And I'm still. And you know what? And I could also proceed to answer and elaborate further. Can I not? And what you're saying is furthermore how me and you are not together, and we are divided, and we are not one mind, one body, one faith, one baptism. And
hold on. Listen, Paul and Barnabas had disagreements. Paul and Barnabas had disagreements.
You know what? Paul and Barnabas did have disagreements. And let me ask you something. When did you hear about Barnabas again after that disagreement?
Hold on. That's deflecting.
Did you? I'm gonna make a point now. Did you hear from Barnabas again after that disagreement?
I know that he finished his course that the Lord set out for him, and he will be in the kingdom of heaven. I don't know how you know that. I don't know that. I'm asking you, did we hear any more of the great works of Barnabas after that disagreement? Based off of the records we have left?
Yes.
Okay, based off of the records that we have left, I'm not sure. I would have to double check you on that.
Yeah, you didn't. But you know whose works we did hear? Paul. Barnabas should have went. Paul outranked Barnabas. He should have went.
And John the Baptist went off too, right?
He should have went where.
Hey, did John the Baptist go off?
I will answer that after I finish my question here. And now the demon.
Don't answer that. Don't answer that.
I'm going to. Now the demon's really coming out of you. You know what I'm saying? Now you show your true self. Because guess what? Every time you open your mouth, you're helping my case, not yours. Because yes, I'm going to say John the Baptist went off. You're going to say John the Baptist was in the truth. Oh, is that the third disagreement
You don't know.
Is that the third
You don't know
disagreement
what I'm
we
going
have?
to say.
Okay, so tell me.
You don't know.
John-
No,
did John the
Katazai, you
Baptist
don't
go
know
off?
what I'm going to say.
Did John the Baptist go off? Yes or no?
Listen, we're dealing
Yes
with
or no?
one thing at a
Yes
time.
or
Do
no?
all things
Yes
decently
or no?
and in order.
Well,
Why are you jumping around?
If we were
Are
dealing,
you running?
if we were dealing with things in decency and in order, we would still be on Barnabas. You opened your mouth and brought up John.
No, I'm talking about the
You're
Israelites
one
that were
who ran-
scattered.
who ran
I want to talk
scattered.
about the Israelites.
No,
No, I
your
want to talk
thoughts-
about the Israelites that
Your
are scattered.
thoughts and your brain is scattered. Now you want to talk about scattered Israelites. So first,
No, I already brought that up in the past.
Listen,
That's
first,
why I said, do you have schools in every single?
First, we talking about schools in different zones. Then from there, you want to bring up Barnabas. Then from there, you want to bring up John. You're the one running everywhere. I'm trying to deal with one at a time. You keep jumping around. So answer the
Okay, well,
question.
let me help you out.
Answer the question.
Let
Yes
me
or
help you
no?
out.
Yes or no?
I don't believe there's. Okay,
Yes
if I answer
or no?
you, if
Yes
I
or no?
listen, if I answer you,
Yes or no?
Katazai,
Yes or no?
be ye patient.
Yes or no? I've been patient with you. I was patient with you all day. Now you testing my patience.
Of course, John the Baptist was doing the Lord's work.
Thank you. Do me a favor. We got another caller. We'll get back to him. Hit mute. He didn't even answer my question directly. I asked him if he went off. I didn't ask you if he was doing work. I asked you if he went off. You can't even answer me straight. Let's go over here. 570-3 whatever. 570. You're on the air across the line radio. State your name, where you're calling from.
Peace. This is Israelite William calling from Pennsylvania.
Israelite who?
William.
Israelite William. What's going on, man? You got a question or a comment?
Yeah. Dealing with Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 8, right?
Deuteronomy.
It says the children.
Hold on. Let me get there with it. Deuteronomy 23. You can put it on the screen for them. 23. Because I be forgetting I got my phone, so I could. Okay. Yep.
You hear me?
Yep.
All right, so dealing with Deuteronomy 23 and 8, when it says that the children that are begotten of the Egyptians and the Edomites can't enter into the congregation until the third generation.
Yep.
What you think about that? What's your assessment on that?
What do you mean by my assessment?
So I'm saying, is it saying to you that if you have a child with an Edomite, that child and that child's children can't enter into the congregation, only that child's grandchildren? Is that your interpretation, or is it something else?
Correct. That's exactly what that means.
So that means that if somebody's mother was an Edomite, they couldn't enter into the congregation?
Correct.
Okay.
Now drive your question all the way home.
That's it. We already there, brother. We already there. Children of an Edomite cannot enter into the congregation of the Lord until the third generation. That's all. That's all I wanted to know.
Okay, so can I take it a step further now?
Yeah.
My mother's an Edomite. Why am I in the congregation?
Good question.
Good question, right? Why do you think?
I'm listening.
I'm saying, do you know? Do you have a line of reasoning, or?
Nah, I don't. Not at all.
I got you. So walk with me for a minute, right? Were lepers allowed in the congregation?
Lepers allowed in the congregation.
Those with leprosy.
You tell me.
No, they were not.
Okay.
Was Christ around the lepers?
I'm sorry, we'll say that again.
Was Christ around the lepers?
Was Christ around lepers? I'm not sure.
Yes, he was, and he even healed some of them.
Okay.
I'll take it another step further, right? Dwarfs, people with dwarfism, were they allowed in the congregation?
No, I don't think so.
No, they weren't. People with a flat nose, were they allowed in the congregation?
No, definitely not.
If your stones were wounded, were they allowed in the congregation?
No.
if you were the offspring of a adulterous relationship, were you allowed in the congregation?
I'm gonna have to say yes to that, for the simple fact that Solomon was the son of an adulterous relationship.
But the Lord, what happened to the first child that came out of that from Bathsheba and David?
God took that first child.
Which mean that they already got their punishment.
Okay, that's how you say it. Cool.
All right. So now, do you follow the New Testament? Do you believe in Christ?
I'm Old Testament only, brother.
I got you. So this ain't even gonna matter then. But just for the time being, right? I was wondering, you know what I'm saying? Because the more we talk, that's what it sounded like you were Old Testament only. When we go and when we redeem our nation, you understand, all of us can come back. All of us, you understand, as we're starting to serve the Lord. There's nobody that's of the seed of Israel who can't turn back to the Lord, who can't come back. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I turned around and asked you, you know what I'm saying, was Christ around lepers? You know what I'm saying? Because lepers couldn't come inside the congregation either. Because there's not, how could I explain this? You don't necessarily believe this, but for the listening audience, Christ died for all sins and for the entire nation of Israel to be redeemed, because the whole nation went off. And now in that establishment of a New Testament, those, you understand, who we all fell, we all came from sin. We all, you understand, are byproducts of filth, have an opportunity to clean ourselves and come back to the Lord. And that's true redemption. All right.
Got you. So that's your explanation to why you should be allowed in it. First of all, let me say this, right? I don't believe that white people are Edomites. But I'm saying if that's your belief, so you're saying that you don't belong in the congregation? Is that your belief, according to the law?
I actually just turned around and broke it down to you. I literally gave a whole breakdown. But you believe that they're Japhetic, correct?
That who?
You believe that white people are Japhetic, from Japheth?
It's possible.
Okay.
It's possible. I don't have no I don't know where white people come from, but that's possible.
That's normally people from your paradigm. That's who they associate, quote unquote, Edomites with.
Yeah, I'm a different kind of Old Testament only though. I'm Old Testament only.
Whatever that means.
That's it. It's 39 books. That's what that means. 39 books. That's the Old Testament. I don't deal with Apocrypha, none of that other nonsense.
Okay, so you stop at Malachi.
Facts.
Got you. All right, done.
So you're saying that? So you being in the congregation is justified by Jesus? You saying, since you believe that your mother's an Edomite?
All of us, the entire nation, right? The entire nation of Israel being able to come back to the Lord is justified by Yahushua, correct?
I mean, that's your belief. That's cool. All right. So that's your explanation for that.
For sure.
All right, cool. I got you. Understood.
My man.
Please.
Peace. 979 to the bottom. 979-412.
Salaki, I got one more question.
Come on with it.
So I had a conversation today. How do I address the conversation of we were born in sin?
Born in sin, you got to give me more context. What's first? What scripture are they using?
Say it again, Salaki.
What scripture are they using?
They didn't even give me a scripture. It's more so you're a baby, you're born and you're already a sinner. That's the explanation that was given to me, and then I went to
original. Talking about original sin.
Correct. That's where they went to as far as scriptural wise. But you know, dealing with Christians, you really don't get scriptures. You mostly get somewhat of a watered down explanation. So that's what I was given from the Adam and Eve situation to why they addressed the conversation as saying that we're born into sin. When your father and mother had you and you when you were conceived, you were a sinner, is what was given to me. So how do you get that with as far as like breaking that with scriptures according to the word?
You'd have to give me more than that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I would walk them down. You know what I'm saying? Like I would put the burden of proof on them to validate that, and then I would start asking certain questions. Then, like, was Christ sinless? And if so, how is that possible? And then when they say, oh, because of immaculate conception, I won't even battle them on immaculate conception. I'll go to where it says he was born in sinful flesh. So how was he sinless, born in sinful flesh, if you're trying to say that original sin matters? And it also depends if they're Catholic or not, because the whole point of immaculate conception was that Mary was the only person born without original sin, which is why she was able to give birth to Christ in the first place and for that miracle to transpire. So it depends on who you're talking to. You know what I'm saying? Now, the people who broke off from Catholicism, which is the rest of Christendom, all of that is now going to determine on what their doctrine or their stance is. So I would need a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? But I would go there. I would go to, well, how was Job perfect if we're all born with sin? So I would need a little bit more, but those are avenues that I would walk them down. And also Christ said, be ye therefore perfect. So, you know, it's you know, they got to stop philosophizing and just deal with the Bible.
Which is what the part of Christ being perfect and saying, go ye be perfect, is what I pretty much brought up when it comes to
bring him on screen and be prepared to drop him.
And this was an Edomite out of one. So, I mean, you know, the conversation I really didn't even care to have with him, but he was the Edomite.
You know, you don't even got to pull him on. You could just add him to the screen and leave me up. We don't even got to look at him. Uncommon sense. I'm gonna call you in a second. Go ahead, though, brother. I'm sorry.
No, sorry. No, so like I was, it was a Christian Edomite. You know, a coworker of mine, and I mean, I'm pretty sure out of one when you came into this truth and when all these, you know, whether it be a brother or whether it be an Edomite, they all, you know, you don't eat pork, and all those conversations come up, why you don't eat pork and all this other stuff. So I give them a brief, just it's unclean, and that's it. And then it goes that every time I tell a brother or Edomite or anyone as such of giving them the reason of why I don't eat it, that usually stirs up a conversation of, you know, where that leads to when it comes to like getting into the word of having convos with an Edomite, because I care less about what they think. But those are kind of the things that I went to, which was when Christ saying, go ye be perfect, and Christ being perfect. And I asked them, well, how was Christ perfect? What did he do? What did he follow? You know what I'm saying? So that's where I went to. So I guess I was kind of on there, right? It's just some points of what you said about Joseph, which I wish I could have said that, but you know, I didn't. I was driving as well, so you know what I'm saying, he in the back of me, so like as far as like in the truck, so yeah, it was a coworker of mine, and you know, it really wasn't a big deal to me when it comes to Edomite, you know what I'm saying. But if it was a brother, it'd be a different situation. But that's all. I was just trying to make sure that I get, you know, again, Salaki, I'm not a teacher, you know what I'm saying. So it was just more so of how to handle myself in those situations when Edomites or another brother tries to come and tempt you to, you know, test your foundation. Salaki.
I got you. Well, stay in class, you know what I'm saying? That's definitely an avenue, you know what I'm saying, or a route that you can go. And once again, man, like, you know, as time goes on, you're going to have to be apt to teach. And not only are you going to have to be apt to teach, but, you know what I'm saying? You could always sharpen your sword, man. There's these billboards that's around the country, and it'll be like 8-5 truth or something like that. And it'll have some dumb question up there, like, do you know when he's coming back or something? And I used to call them hotlines up, and I used to battle them to sharpen my sword. You know what I'm saying? I used to be like, yes. I used to play dumb too, like coy, like, yeah, I saw this billboard, and you know, I wanted to know more about heaven and hell, or And then before you know it, we in a 3-hour debate and battle. You know what I'm saying? And every time I called, somebody different picked up the phone. You know what I'm saying? So I understand. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the only thing I tell you this, man. The only thing amusing about that, well, I ain't gonna say amusing, but the only thing that was good about that was that, you know, I'm Issachar, you know, soy Mexicano. You know what I'm saying? So I got, you know, a brother, a Judite brother next to me, and like he sees the racism that I see, of course, and that was the only thing that was good that come up out of it, is that brother got to witness me shut down an Edomite when it comes to the word. And to me, you know, in my realm of my me having my sword, I feel like that's, to me, that's a dub to me, is when, you know, when you're showing another brother, like, look, man, these motherfuckers don't really know what they be talking about. You know, they really just be lying. But when you said it to a brother that really don't know anything, all he knows is Christianity, but, you know, he just steps away from the Christianity because he sees exactly what Christianity is, but he still believes in, quote unquote, you know, God. So when you know, when I was sitting there, you know, going head to head with this Edomite and showing him, like, you really full of shit, you know what I'm saying? That was the most joyful thing out of that, was that brother got to witness that, you know what I'm saying?
I got you. I understand.
Yeah, but that's it. I don't mean to take up your time, man. I know y'all here, like I told you in the message, man, y'all here doing the Lord's work, man. I don't expect you to remember everything, you know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
All right. Y'all watching y'all shot. Shalom.
Shalom, you should work that. Uncommon Sense, you're on the air. You should be on the screen. You got a question or a comment?
Shalom, Cap. Yeah, I have some questions, and they may not necessarily be.
I remember that name, man, but I don't remember where I remember the name from. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I called not too long ago. I asked about if it's okay to compare Africans to Nazis. I don't know if that.
Oh, okay. I remember that question. All right, go ahead.
All right. I'm gonna kind of go back to that in a second, but I have another question for that. I'm just asking questions because I'm naturally just curious and I need some insight. My first question would be, when I hear people, okay, I asked you a while back, I called in the show a while back, and I asked about the whole Shalom thing. And when you explained it, you were like, you know, it's like saying banana, right?
Yes, banana.
And then I saw a class that General Muhammad gave in, and somebody kind of asked about that also, and he explained, you know, he delved in that also. So me knowing the correct way and stuff like that, is it safe, or am I being kind of pompous, right? If I hear somebody, you know, use that shalom, right, for me to just like dismiss everything in there, because that's kind of like what I do when I hear somebody say shalom or something, like when they call into your show, or if I see something where they're saying that, I kind of just dismiss everything that comes out of their mouth from that point. Am I being pompous of that, or could I do that?
I mean, listen, if somebody says shalom and you don't want to believe another word after them, I'm not mad at you at all. You know what I'm saying? Because you now know the root of where they coming from. You now seeing how removed they are from the truth. But what I do now is I just say, hey, man, we don't say that over here. And if they want to know more, I'll tell them why. And if not, you know what I'm saying, we just keep going. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I used to be ignorant as hell and say something back like abracadabra or something. You know what I'm saying? Like something, you know, but I'm growing, you know, I'm growing in my age and to be a little bit less abrasive. You know what I'm saying? Like if I could turn up, if people want to turn up, we can go there. I don't have a problem with it. That's actually my favorite place to go. But I'd prefer to, you know, long suffer with people a little more now.
Okay. Because, you know, I know they're more established as far as, you know, in the truth and stuff like that. So I'm just, you know, I'm still what you would call worldly.
Listen, if somebody says shalom, they're established in the lie. They're not established in the truth. They're cosplaying as a Hebrew Israelite.
Okay. All right. All right. So my next question is right.
I mean, y'all hate me for that, but that's the facts. You could take it. Listen, the best medicine tastes the worst, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I like I said, I'm trying to be less abrasive, but that doesn't mean the truth ain't gonna smack you upside the head sometimes. Go ahead.
All right. So my next question is right. Like as far as on the African thing, right? Is it safe for me to look at it when I see niggas in dashikis, right? Is it safe for me to compare them to say somebody that was in internment camps in Auschwitz or whatever, like this the fake Jew? If they were to dress up in an SS uniform, could I make that comparison?
Yeah, that's I mean that paints a pretty good picture. You know what I'm saying? Because it's if I was to go biblically, I'd say you're hiding among the trees of the garden like Adam and Eve did. You know, or when it talks about in Isaiah the 30th chapter, you putting on a covering that is not a covering of the Lord, and you're adding sin to sin. But if you want to draw that comparison, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's not bad.
Okay. And my other question is, right now, it kind of goes along with this. Now another, I guess another organization, right? They, I don't want to say their names because I'm not trying to get y'all to.
I understand. I understand, brother.
All right. So now I saw this organization and one of the dudes, he was wearing he was wearing that dashiki stuff, but he also, it was a while ago now. This was probably about a few years ago.
I know who you're talking about, but go ahead.
It was a few years ago, and he had some dude from Ghana reading. You know, I guess y'all call that camp, right? Like when y'all out on the speed, and that's camp.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So they were doing a camp, and he had a Ghanaian reading, and he was like so proud. He was like, "Yeah, this is our brother here from Ghana and stuff like that." While he had his little dashiki on, and he had this Ghanaian reading. So my question is, right? Because I know y'all invite everybody to the Passover and stuff like that, and to your cookout. I don't know if this individual, if that guy from Ghana is still in their organization or not. Like I said, it was a few years ago. But if they were to come to your Passover, how would you be able to assess that situation within that little bit of time, I would say, for him to enter?
Because anybody who comes through that we don't know, we ask them who their father is. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that would go. But you know what? I won't go any further than that unless you want to know, because you know what I'm saying. I could break down why he's with that, why he's in that dashiki, and why he chose to have a brother from Ghana with him.
Yeah, like he was real proud of it. Like, yeah, he's from Ghana and stuff like. And like that's when I started getting confused when I saw that, and then I had to call y'all about that. And stuff. And
listen, and that's not to say that there's not no Israelites that's in Ghana, but the reason as to why he's so accepting. All right, I'm gonna do it. Do me a favor, man. Pull me up Luke the 17th chapter. I want to teach you a very valuable lesson about fake Israelites.
I saw it and I was like, it was
Luke 16, I'm sorry. I'm usually pretty on point with this one. Aha, here we go. You ready for this, brother? I'm about to break down. You're going to understand your confusion now. Now you're not going to be able to be confused the next time you see that. You're going to be able to identify the problem. You ready?
All right.
This is Luke, the 16th chapter, and it says, "And he said unto his disciples, there was a certain rich man which had a steward, and the same was accused unto him that he had wasted his goods." In this parable, the rich man is the Most High. The steward is a poor leader, is somebody who's not fit for the position, who's wasting the Most High's goods. The goods is the congregation, the work. "And he called him and said unto him, How is it that I hear this of thee? Give an account of thy stewardship. for thou mayest be no longer steward. Meaning, like, the Lord is trying to remove him from this position, trying to fire him. You're messing up. I'm going to replace you, which I want everybody to know. Anybody can be replaced in this work. You understand? Everybody's expendable. Nobody made it until we made it. Then the steward said within himself, what shall I do? For my Lord hath taken away from me the stewardship. I cannot dig. To beg, I am ashamed. You know, they making some money in that position. You know what I'm saying? So as a result, from them making money, they don't want to go and work construction or beg or, you know, XYZ. They want to know, how is it that I'm going to be able to keep these people? Verse 4, I am resolved what to do, that when I am put out of the stewardship, they may receive me into their houses. He's going to say how he's going to get people to still follow him. So he called every one of his Lord's debtors. We're all debtors to the Most High. We all owe. And said unto the first, how much owest thou unto my Lord? And he said, 100 measures of oil. And he said unto him, take thy bill and sit down quickly and write 50. Let me ask you something. You want to pay 100 or you want to pay 50 if you owe some money?
I mean, I'd rather pay the 50, but if I
pay the 50, right?
Right.
Because it's easier.
Right.
Let's keep reading. Let's go a little more. Now, I know you being a man who wants to serve the Lord, you were about to say, but you know, if it's for the Lord, I'm gonna give what I really owe. I know, because you a sincere man. You know what I'm saying? But the carnality is, nah, I don't want to pay that 400. Take 50. Right. So let's keep going. Then he said to another, and how much owest thou? And he said, 100 measures of wheat. And he said unto him, take thy bill and write 80. So 80 is 420s. You know, we're talking about 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, $80. You know what I'm saying? So now he paying less. Now, and the Lord commended the unjust steward, because he had done wisely. For the children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of light. See, the children of light, we don't know how to scam and hustle. We honest, we sincere. We want to tell you the truth. The children of the world, though, they want to hustle. They want to scheme. So you know what's okay? Do you know how much flack Captain Tazaryak got for not letting that little African boy saying he couldn't come to the cookout? You know, that video had over 1 million views. You know, like that was a viral video. Do you know how many people to this day still bring up that he would not feed the African child?
I think that's wonderful. Fuck them.
Do you think if we accepted Hamites in Africa, do you think we'd have that much beef with the conscious community and Sarnetta?
No.
Nah, because that's writing down 80 instead of paying the 100. You understand? That's writing down 50 instead of paying the 100. Let me hip you to something. There's a religion for any sin you want to commit. You want to sell crack? Go be a Muslim. You can sell crack, get arrested, become a Muslim for protection, and then now you come home and you sell crack to everybody who don't got a beard. For real. Well, maybe too many of y'all, you understand, crack ain't as big. Fentanyl. You understand? Y'all get arrested selling Fetty, you come home, and now you sell Fetty to anybody without a beard. If you wanna smoke weed, go be a Rasta. You know, go I, right? That's what y'all are gonna do. If you want to, you know, sexually abuse children, go be a Catholic. They ran the largest, you know, child abuse ring on the planet. You go be a Catholic priest, and then they'll just move you around when you get caught. Pope will protect you. You want to be any wicked thing under the sun, just go be a Christian. You know what I'm saying? You could be a drug dealer, you wear a Jesus piece. You know what I'm saying? You want to be an adulteress, you know what I'm saying? You want to be an LGBT member, TD Jakes, the power bottom, he got you. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? There is a fake Israelite group for any sin you want to commit. If you want to be whitewashed, you understand? If you want to be integrated into society and be an acceptable Israelite, go join IUIC. They believe in monogamy. They're all, you understand, deputized, and half of them are police.
Gay as hell.
Yeah, brother, you said it. You understand? You wanna get high, brother? You can go join an Israelite group that says you can smoke weed. You want to wear a dashiki? Go join that group that cat was talking about, because they want to be acceptable. They want to be palatable. They want to get along. My God's a man at war, so I'm at war with all of you. Will I be polite? Yes. Will I be respectable? Yes. I won't break peace unless peace is broken. All right. I will look at all of you as brothers and sisters. I ain't looking at none of you as men of God. I ain't looking at none of you as priests and prophets ever in life. And I will battle all of you until you're in here or you're destroyed. Because if you ain't with us, you're against us. Because if you were with us, you'd be in here under the same banner with my brothers, but you're not. So you write down 4 on that piece of paper, and I'll write down 100. I'll give the Lord what he requires, and you keep hustling and scheming and scamming God's people. Drops mic.
That's dope right there.
Well, that's the truth.
That's dope. I have another question too, Cap.
Can you hold that question? I got 3 other callers on the line. I'm gonna try to get to. Hold that question right there and give me 806. Right there. Yep. Go ahead. Unmute it. 806-185. You're on the air with Cross the Line Radio. State your name. Where you calling from?
Malik. I'm calling from Washington.
What's going on? You got a question or comment?
Yeah, hey, shalom, Captain.
Shalom.
You've explained this a million times, but could you please tell me again why people claim you can't cook on the Sabbath?
Okay. Because it's not a sin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why.
So why do they say that?
They say that because they don't understand the Bible. Because, okay, 2 scriptures. One, the Lord ordered the children of Israel to gather manna during a certain time frame, and they did that up until they got to where they were going. And it even says they did that up until this day. So they were following the Lord's ordinance for that moment. 2, because they don't understand kindling a fire and they're not priests. Kindling a fire is not going to your stove and turning a knob and watching it go and then what, you ever see Castaway?
Yes.
With
The movie with Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks. I was about to say Mel Gibson. Tom Hanks, when he was on the island, you see how hard it was for him to start a fire? He cut his hand.
Right.
That's kindling a fire. You know what kindling a fire is? Kindling a fire is if I dropped you in the wilderness and said, go start a fire, and you have nothing. You know what I'm saying? No lighter fluid, nothing. That's work.
Yes.
Now, guess what, right? In Israel, people who have money have servants. The rich have butlers. You get what I'm saying? So who would start a fire for them on the Sabbath?
Who would start a fire for them?
Yeah, a rich man. Who would start a fire for him on the Sabbath?
Oh, he would have his servants do it.
He would have a servant, but a servant can't do no work. So the Lord put a ban on servile work because starting a fire, kindling a fire is difficult. But now let me ask you something. How would we heat our houses in the winter in ancient Israel? You know how cold it gets in the winter?
Yeah.
What if we had our wood already cut, our fire already lit? Let me ask you something. If I took a log and just dropped it in a fire that was already kindled on the Sabbath, would that be work?
If you picked up the log and took it to the fire?
If I had people keep their stack of wood close to the fire. They take a log and they just drop it in the fire. Is that work?
Yes.
That is not work, brother. How else would we keep our house warm in the winter? Do you think we put the fire out on Saturday and everybody froze? Now let me take it a step further. Are you familiar with showbread? spelled Shew.
Yeah, the one that the Levitical priests. Yes, I remember you said they did that on the Sabbath as well.
Do you know when the shewbread was cooked?
I don't.
Every morning on the Sabbath, which is why it said that they smelt the shewbread in the solemn assembly every Saturday, because it was baked in the morning. And there were specific servants of the priest who baked that bread. Because do you know what showbread was?
I don't.
A meal for the priest. Do you know why the priest needed?
Okay.
Do you know why the priest needed a meal cooked on the Sabbath?
I don't.
Because they're doing the work of the Lord.
Right. Okay.
Because when you're working, you get hungry, do you not?
Yes, you do.
This is why Christ said that the priest profane the Sabbath. Because who's working on the Sabbath? You're off if you're not a priest. The priests are working. Because the priests don't have the Sabbath off.
Right.
So, do you know what the men in the ISUPK are?
I don't.
Priest. So you know what I need on the Sabbath?
What?
I need a good ass meal before I go out and say our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so fake Israelites keep eating cold sandwiches and putting your food on the hood of your car to heat it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have my rib cook me a nice meal for when I get home from camp. All right.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Ak.
Hey, no sweat.
All right, shalom.
Shalom. Y'all serve rest. You understand? Rest is supposed to serve you. Eating. Yeah. Go ahead. Unmuted. 404-966. You're on the air across the line radio. State your name. Where you calling from?
Shalom, y'all. By Shem Gatha, it's Trooper. How you call? Checking in, calling in, sir.
You Shabrakta. You got a question or a comment?
Comment, sir. Quick question, trying to see about the Gullah Geechee tribe. Would they still predominantly be considered the tribe of Judah?
Yeah, I think predominantly they would be. You know what I'm saying? Some of them know their oral tradition and where they came from, and others even know when they came into the tribe and as far as like Maroons style, you know what I'm saying, where Judah and Gadites would link together and create colonies to fight against their common enemy. At the end of the day, they're all Israel. You know what I'm saying? But I would say predominantly, you know what I'm saying, a lot of them were brought over from Sierra Leone during the slave trade and then now are in the Carolinas.
Comment the water, sir.
I on the ball. Shalom. Magen Israel, why don't you just call up instead of talking shit in the chat? You sound like you're a fake Israelite. You sound like if the shoe fits, wear it. You sound like you a size 10.5. You should put the shoe on, walk around. A 10.5 W. You got wide feet. Real talk. I do too. I'm a 10.5 W. Yeah. For real. Let's get the next caller. There've been some quick questions. Which one is it? 7. Yeah, good. That's not 7.
Oh, I'm reading the last 4.
No, we read the first. You read the beginning. So mute that. Come down 1. Open that. Yep. 754-2. I can't read, man. 423. It's too small, man. I don't know. I need glasses. 754. You're on the air across the line radio. State your name. Where you calling from? Hit mute and unmute again. One more time. There you go. 754.
Shalom, sir. Y'all Bashim Yashikta.
It's your breakdown.
It's Officer Fitting the one y'all from ICPK, Florida.
What's going on, man?
Nah, sir. How about you out of the world?
I'm chilling, man. Getting ready to wrap this show up. Yeah, you got a question or a comment? What's happening with you, brother?
I needed a breakdown on this precept right here. I don't want. So like, let me grab it. Romans 14 and 23.
You said Romans 14?
Kind of one, verse 23 out of 1.
All right, let me get there with you. Romans 4. Oh, where are we at? 14 and 23.
It says, and he that doubteth is damned if he eat, because he eateth not of faith. For whatsoever is not of faith is sin.
Go up to 1, verse 1.
Romans chapter 14, verse 1. Him that is weak in the faith receive ye, but not to doubtful disputations.
There's going to be people who come into the truth and they're going to be weak. You understand? And we can receive the weak as well, and our job is to make them strong. Go ahead.
Read verse 2 out of 1.
Mm-hmm.
Come. For one believeth that he may eat all things. Another who is weak eateth herbs.
So now, why is the one who's weak eateth herbs?
Like, because he believed that eating herbs is better for him.
It's okay if you eat herbs. You understand? You know what's not okay? If you say you must only eat herbs. Why is that not okay?
Because you trying to exclude the other brothers that don't eat herbs, that don't only eat herbs.
Not so much as you're excluding the brothers. I mean, you got excellent brotherhood that you don't want to be divisive amongst your brothers. So, you know what I'm saying? Even the fact that you went there ain't bad. But we're talking about faith. What is our faith in?
The most, so like Christ coming back and giving us salvation.
That's true. And how do we know that? How do we know Christ is coming back?
Through scripture.
Through the scripture. So we believe in the scripture. What does the scripture say about eating herbs? Is there a law against eating herbs? Nah, so we can eat any herbs we want. Is there a law, though, against eating pork?
Another one.
Correct. So now we know, but there's also lawful meat. For example, lamb. Lamb is lawful, correct?
Another one.
So now we know what we can and can't eat because of our faith. Our faith tells us Leviticus, the 11th chapter, is correct. True or false?
Another one.
So now, as a result, if I tell you you can't eat meat, you could only eat vegetables, I'm weak. Why am I weak?
Because you're saying something that's against the law?
Because I don't have faith in the scriptures. I'm telling you that what I say means more than what the Most High said. I'm telling you I know better than the Most High. My faith in the scriptures is weak. So this whole chapter is talking about those, you understand, that are weak and those that are strong inside of the faith. It's talking about those, you understand, who digest this doctrine and those who don't.
Mm-hmm. So the herbs and the man that eat herbs and the one that don't eat herbs is just an analogy. It's not actually literal.
It is literal because it's a battle. It's a literal battle that he had. You know what I'm saying? We have those battles today. You know how many people come up to me and say, yeah, you know, your teeth are really, if you look, you know, you have limited incisors. So as a result, you know, it wasn't really made to eat meat. So, you know, we're supposed to be herbivores and not omnivores. You know how many times I've heard that bullshit from some blackety black cat who only eats fruit and wants to argue with me? So these battles have been around for 2,000 years. But what Paul is telling you all throughout the chapter, he's giving you examples of strong faith and weak faith. and how we shouldn't even argue over things like that. You know what I'm saying? He's explaining that if you want to only eat herbs, that's fine. But it's not okay if you're only eating herbs because you think it's against God, because that's against the faith. If you want to only eat meat, it's okay. You understand? But it's not okay if you pick on a brother who's a vegan.
Oh God.
You understand?
Oh God.
And now he's telling you how to make the weak strong. You understand? And how to not offend people who are weak, and how you should deal with them. And he's also telling us how we can be strong in the faith. And he's giving examples of strong and weak and how we should deal with each other.
Oh God, sir.
All right.
Oh God. The water out of one. That was all.
Eye on the ball. What I'm gonna do is let's go back to Hey, Shalom, Aki Shabrak. Go back to the StreamYard. Yeah, go back to the StreamYard. So I told Uncommon Sense, I told you that I would take your call. You could unmute Jesus Christ is Faith. Jesus Christ is Faith. You're gonna have to call up next week. I'm gonna take the last question from Uncommon Sense because I told him I'd take his last question. 12 o'clock is our cutoff. So come to the show earlier, all right? Uncommon Sense. What's your last question?
All right, Cap. Just one quick thing.
Yep.
What you just said about the teeth, a good way to I'm not telling you what to do, but what I normally say when people mention teeth and the well, that means you're not supposed to eat this or whatever, you could mention to them a panda bear or even gorillas and their teeth. A panda bear's teeth are the same as a grizzly bear's, but they eat bamboo. And gorillas have like real, you see the tusks that not tusks, but you see they got those long ass, I guess canines or whatever you want to call them, and they don't eat meat. So that's kind of bullshit anyway when they talk about teeth and stuff. But my last question is now I'm not a flat earther. Yeah, I'm not a flat earther, so let's just put it out there right now. And I subscribe to the way you explained it one time when people called up there before and mentioned that, and you were like, what does it matter what the shape of the earth is if we still getting tore up down here, right? So that's how I look at it. So I agree with that. But my question is, I'm coming from a more, if you want to call it more of like, I guess, like, how do I explain it? Like if you were like looking at it like a lawyer per se, this question, as far as defense and prosecution per se. So my question is when they mention, because flat earthers like to talk about the firmament or whatever, but you guys debunk that, and the circle of the earth. Now they mean circle horizontally and not necessarily as far as a spheroid, right? So my question is, could they use that as is that a solid argument for them? And when I mean solid argument, just that particular thing, nothing else, just that specific right there is what I want to know.
Brother, I don't give a damn. to be honest, I'm gonna keep it real, brother. You're gonna have to ask a younger man in the truth than I. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to process what you were saying, and I was just, my brain just clicked over into this mode of, I'm not trying to reinforce the argument. I don't care about the argument. If somebody doesn't come in the truth because they think the earth is flat, enjoy getting high and Lord be with you. Whatever it is, I'm trying to rule it. I don't get into those type of debates and arguments. I don't even try to philosophize about them. I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? At all.
That's not what my purpose of asking it. My purpose was because I'm wondering, because I seen you guys like counter, like you pull up everything on everybody else, right? So no matter what they bring, like John the Baptist, like that gentleman that was on earlier, even Ruth being a Moabite, or bringing on what's his name? The centurion guy that they always like to say. Oh fuck.
I'm with you.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering, are they that bad that even flat earthers have a stronger argument? That was my whole premise of it. And maybe I should have let off with that. If their questions, if they're
respectfully,
mm-hmm.
I still don't care. Like, I'm like really not trying to go too deep down like the TikTok rabbit hole. You know what I mean? Like I said this the other day. I really thank the Lord that like I wasn't in the world when TikTok was around, because weed and YouTube was hard enough. You know what I'm saying? But having a low attention span and watching 30-second clips of people trying to tell me that there's a dragon in the South Arctic Ocean ready to wake up. I mean, I don't know, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, man, y'all could argue about that. I don't know who's great.
I'm not arguing.
What's greater? What's least? What's the lesser of two evils? Kamala Harris, who locked up black men over Donald Trump. I don't know about the lesser of two evils. I just deal with the truth. You know what I'm saying? Lord be with them brothers, and they can argue about that all day on Clubhouse.
I got you, Cap. I got you. That was pretty much it. I even taking the time to answer any of my questions. Like, I really appreciate that, Cap.
Nah, no sweat. That's what we here for. Listen, listen.
And I ain't no flat earther, so don't make no clip out of me. I ain't no flat. I'm literally when I call y'all, I have these questions in my head, and I kind of call y'all for just to to affirm anything.
Listen, brother, so, I ain't gonna shame you. I ain't gonna do none of that. The first caller, like, even though he's still on the line and he's grown on me a little bit, and he was very respectful today, I'm still gonna make a clip out of him. You know what I'm saying? Because he thinks we agree. And I'm gonna make a clip out of the Luke 16 breakdown. You know what I'm saying? So that you could look forward to. But I won't shame you, brother. I know you're not. I know you're not.
I ain't into that. I'm like you. I don't care. It's just brain thinks at times, man. When I have a question in it, and then I have to be like, all right, well, I gotta call him about this. And,
well, brother, I in no wise believe that you are enemy to the ISUPK. So, I said, I will not shame you on the internet, and you know what I'm saying. If I do make a clip, it's going to be positive, all right. And as for everybody else, I ain't making no promises from tonight's show, all right. I wish this Muslim would call up so I could ask him if he believes in the hadiths and if you believe that Muhammad had a 9-year-old wife and consummated with
when y'all brought that out on
let's talk about that, Al-Mahdi. Yeah, let's talk about it.
That was when y'all brought that out, I didn't even know that until y'all did that show with Wack, I believe, when y'all brought that out with her name. I forgot her name, but 9-year-old girl. I was like, that's hella nasty, bro.
We're gonna get into it. And to the rest of the callers that's on, call up earlier. This show is over. We've been doing this, and just so y'all know, man, this is what this show is for, brother. This show is so people could reach us. This was before Clubhouse. This was before Twitter had their spaces. We started this show so that this way y'all would be able to get in touch with us and ask us whatever questions you want. I appreciate you calling up. You know what I'm saying? We don't give a damn about the Quran. We only care about the scriptures. Islam is musty Christianity. Tell your friends I said it. And shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
Pay your tithes.